It's just and I've always said this before in terms of even like marriage, when we're talking about marriage being hard work. One of the things a lot of times, and it's kind of like black men and women, let's say as a group, what we're seeing is our reflection, right? So in a marriage, you reflect each other. It's like a body length mirror. When you're dating is a handheld mirror, right? When you're married is a full body length mirror, right? And you're standing in front of that mirror naked. And your partner is you're seeing your flaws, right? So a lot of times we don't recognize that we're matching each other's energy, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. We're matching each other's energy. And so a lot of times when my husband might say something to me and then I'll respond and he look at me like, whoa, why are you talking to me now like that? But he's not realizing that his tone and the way that he said something kind of triggered like my response. And he's like, I wasn't even, oh my bad. Like I'll have to correct myself because I'm kind of, or I might tell him, did you hear how you just said that to me? And he's like, my bad. So, and I think just in general, as a community, what we're seeing is reflection of how we're treating each other. So when we're on the receiving end, we're blaming the black men and we're like, you're doing this, da, 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 because we know how it feels to receive it. But on the flip side, we're giving that same energy. And men are also saying, like, y'all don't know how to talk to black men. That's the problem, y'all, that. And so we continue this whole cycle of being that whole mirror thing. Like even when you AP, you had said something about white women would talk, know how to talk to you, build you up. Black women, they sound critical when we're talking. But if you think about our environment in the way that we grew up, a lot of the way we were spoken to was very critical. And Di even had that have the book with Dr. Joy that talked about the slave trauma or whatever. Right, the slave, yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. And one of the examples that she had talked about is the white parent and a black parent that goes to an award show, and the white parent, was talking about her kid, and Billy, he got this award. I'm so proud of him. He got that, bigging him up. And then the black mom, say, oh yeah, Billy's doing great. But then the white parent turns and says, I'm gonna just use my son name, Taquan. He, oh, he's phenomenal. He's doing way better. He's doing great. And the mom turns around, but like, girl, he is such a handful. He just, instead of just the encouragement, right? Yeah, he's doing his thing. That is our response. But growing up in an environment, we know that they don't mean any harm. We know what it's like, boy, I'm gonna bust you upside your head, right? I'm saying that, but I really ain't gonna do that, right? And so we relate to each other in a way that isn't healthy, but we expect the other person to adjust their behavior without having the tools to do so.
So I want to jump in just real quick because at the end of the day, before I didn't actually get to finish what my point was earlier, but it was about self reflection. Like I actually personally took a look back and said, okay, what am I being told? What am I hearing? Let's decipher this message. And you got to have self awareness in
Mhm.
order to do self reflection. But there's a comment that I really want to address, just real quick, by Lady D. She said, Black men have never explained what you are holding us accountable for. Raising children by ourselves, working three jobs, paying our own bills. What are you holding us accountable for? What? So let me go ahead and explain real quick some of the grievances that are being expressed here.
Sure.
At the end of the day, ma'am, and I understand that sometimes you troll, but I want to go ahead and take this serious. At the end of the day, when it comes to the raising children by yourself, you real talk, you chose the man working 3 jobs. Here's the problem with that. Without a man, especially in the current economy and our plight, since as far back as I can remember, you kind of have to in order to properly raise, like, make sure the kids have what they need. Paying your own bills, that goes back to the 3 jobs deal. What the men in this space are saying is you have to take some responsibility for some of the decisions you make as well. Now, again, I understand that men will lie for the box, men will hit you with the ski ski, and then you hit the skates and roll on you. I get it. That I do. I get it. That happens. But it's best, in my opinion, to have a man in your family or any man around you that doesn't want anything from you except for your best interest to vet any man before he pokes you down. That is literally what I think that one of the biggest, one of the things that would help us dramatically immediately is having men who have your best interest in mind vet the men you're interested in. And I understand that might be few and far between. So if you ever ran into a situation, I don't know you. I don't know you from a can of paint. But if you ever ran into a situation or any one of your sisters ran into a situation, feel free, and I literally validate everybody that's on this panel. Reach out. We know somebody. We'll be more than I don't want nothing from you. We'll be more than happy to help you vet the man. And that's for any woman listening. Yo, we got you. Sis, everybody that I've run across for the most part on this panel only wants the best for the community. And just trust and believe we got you. Many of us got you. So I just wanted to go ahead and say that and address Miss Lady D.
I'm gonna just say something that I have to drop. But
We
to
all
Lady
about
D's
to
to Lady D's question, I think like we gotta like work together and independently to kind of like look at why are we seeing some of these outcomes? Because like I get the vetting piece, but it's like there's a trend, and it's not just a recent trend. It's been a trend for like the last 70 years of this settling into comfortability of it should be unacceptable we should be moving more intentionally after a certain age. That has been constant for like what the last 70 something years or more. It should be unacceptable for us as men to be asking women to be carrying themselves in a regency period-esque way, chastity, dressing, conservatively, the whole nine. But then we get to say, hey, guys, so you're all those, have fun, do whatever, be a ladies' man. Conflicting messages, and it's leading to some of these outcomes. It's leading to, and then the fear. We got to start having those conversations of like, okay, we're trying to promote these values that try to lead towards better outcomes, but like we're also pumping the community full of a lot of us are pumping the community full of fear of like, don't get married, you'll give up half, but then we're steering people down the courts like we talked about in the last show. That's gonna screw you even worse. So it's like we gotta like really, we gotta raise the bar, and it's gonna mean things that used to be traditions can no longer be traditions. We have to establish some better traditions. And that will help us not get to those outcomes of, like I said, the sickest one is pointing fingers at single moms. That should not be the only person that's not really the elephant in the room. And I'll leave it with that.